Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play The Legend of Grimrock. Last one was just a bit of a crazy episode. It took the concept of not doing a blind run to the absolute maximum. It was like, oh, this isn't just a blind run, this isn't just an informed run, this is freaking the entire game's already been finished, and I'm just taking you a tour on how everything goes. So, it was pretty bad, but anyway. Hello everyone, we're now kind of back to the status quo. Was there some other stuff I wanted to mention? Maybe. Oh, look, he's coming here. But I can't really remember at the moment. This floor's a pretty interesting one. I kind of think of it with Grimrock as you get two different types of floors. You get... Oh, why aren't I picking those up automatically? That's interesting. There's two types of floors in Grimrock as far as I can see on this playthrough. It seems like you get some floors. There's a little beetle here as well. Beetles! There are two kinds of... Wow, they're really ambushing me. There are kind of hub floors, and then there are floors that are very linear and you just kind of progress through. I think I don't know which I prefer. I really like hub floors because you can always see where your final goal is, and there's always a real strong sense of progression. But I always get more nervous when I'm playing through floors like this one, where you're just slowly worming your way through what is essentially a long maze and a long series of tunnels and puzzles and things. I kind of prefer this because... in some ways, because it's much more tense. You never know what's really coming around the corner. Where is the exit to this floor? Who the hell knows? We seem to have explored a lot, but we haven't really yet. Oh wow, and another one. This is actually good because on my test file I died here. Because they just kept surrounding me. And I thought I'd killed them. There was like a really weird angle where I thought I'd been successful and killed them all, but I hadn't, and then I just started tanking loads of hits. You can see how quickly they go down now though. Like, Liz is definitely becoming one of my shining characters. We're just like in Guild Wars 2. Oh, I love it. Okay, we've got a level up for Chaos. I just went into Axes last time. Maybe that wasn't smart. Maybe there'd be something better to go into. See, I could go just 2 points into Athletics. I've not spec'd into it whatsoever, but I could do that for a little bit more strength. But if I continue with the Axes, eventually I'll get Rampage. Look at that, that's not too far away. An extremely powerful attack, dealing massive damage. So yeah, let's just keep bum rushing Axes as far as we can now. Now that we've got heavy armor proficiency, I don't really care about going anywhere else into there. So yeah, let's just keep going with it. He gets a little bit of health in the meantime. Right, anyway, so we're in this little area. We've killed the Ugardens that have been approaching us before there. Was there a reason to drop down either of these pits? I don't think so. If you press this button, it will do nothing except cause you pain. This thing will fire a fireball at you, and it will hit you, and you'll just be like, oh, that's annoying. You might expect, oh, well, what if we dodge out of the way? Oh, no, I'm wrong. If you press that button, it doesn't fire a fireball at you. But it fires an ice bolt, which won't hurt you, but you want the ice bolt to go into this little hole here. So you're going to hit it, you're going to sidestep, and you're going to do that. And then suddenly behind you, another one's going to come. So if you dodge this way, you'll manage to open the way. I quite like little bits like that, where you've got to, I don't know, be kind of quick and just dart around a little bit. The iron door on this floor is very much in tune with that, and I really enjoy it. So anyway, we've got another little area coming up here. I'm going to put Arachnia's shield back on her. Oh, another thing I did as well was, you know, I missed that secret on the previous Grimrock stuff where I just kind of ignored this and left this on the floor. Well, I went and picked it back up, so now Chaos has got this stuff and everybody's happy and everybody's all specced out. So I'm gonna equip that shield onto Arachnia, and we're gonna have to clear this whole area of slimes, which is going to take a while. But look at that. I love it. I love how it starts firing those things down there. That's very cool. Try not to get surrounded, like I'm sort of going to get surrounded here. On my test run, it was really easy to come through this. So there we go. That's the first one down. And yeah, we just got to kind of clear the area. That guy drops a throwing axe as well. So we've kind of tiered up with a lot of the gear, I think, would be the way I've described it. A lot of people, no matter how you spec, you've started to get different stuff has appeared here now. The oozes are really kind of weird in that they seem to do so much damage to, crap, what's her name? They do a lot of damage to Natalie. I don't know why, but they seem to, maybe they just have a really high accuracy stat, but she seems to get hit by the oozes way more than she does by anything else. Of course, 2 of our party members are diseased here. We did actually learn how to cure that on the last floor. Do you remember? We got this scroll that said 1 flask, 1 tar bead, and 1 slime ball will heal many diseases. I don't want to waste my tar beads, though. On my test run through this, I was just having so many potions, it was just so stupid, and then I actually ran out by the end. Whoa, I'm not being attacked by behind, am I? Oh, hello. I thought I might have been. You weren't hitting me yet, but you were attacking me from behind. Don't think I didn't notice you. So yeah, I'm going to be a little bit more conservative with my potions and stuff going forward. And hopefully that will be fine. That guy looked incredibly confused about what the hell was going on. It's like, oh, which way do I go? Which way do I go? It's fine. So anyway, like, big long fights like this, I guess this is a good opportunity to ask how everybody's doing, if you're all having a good day and stuff. It's like I said, I've been working on the 1000th video thing for a while. It feels like a long time since I really did any Grimrock, but it's not really been that long. And I don't know, it feels so weird looking back, because on that video I put on a lot of my old footage for things, and man, I got so nostalgic about just how I used to do my old LPs and stuff, and man, Guild Wars 2 is very difficult to do along the same lines, it really is. Anyway, we've got some milkweed here, which means speed potions. Shall we actually start cooking some of these up? In my test run just now, I didn't cook any up at all. What was it? It was a milkweed as well as a blood drop, wasn't it? Yeah, that's it. Speed potions. I'll make a couple of these. I'm very curious actually about putting that on the list now, because that's going to be so cool, because it will counter nicely with her hardstone bracelet and stuff. So next time I know I've got a difficult bit coming up, I'll do that way. I'm also going to rest, because as I say, I don't want to waste potions anymore. I might get ambushed here. I think there were some more slimes around than I've killed. There were. Oh my god, 48 damage. You bastard. Well, that's what I get, I suppose. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. Arachnia's a little bit low on energy, but it's fine. We still got our 14 bolts. Oh, the bolts was such a debacle with this LP. Right, okay, so we've got this little section here. This is actually how to progress further into the floor, and it's kind of an interesting little puzzle thing. But there's also an extra side thing as well that you might notice on your own playthrough that you might not realise is actually part of a pretty cool secret, especially if you've got a mage, especially if you've got an earth mage. So we're going to come over here. There's the last slime. They're really spread out, aren't they? They weren't so spread out on my original run. We're going to go through. We're going to kill him. I think from now on, as long as I can be bothered to click, I will always be casting the advanced poison spell, just because it's both things, and you can cast it at range. You know, that drawback I had before with being an earth mage where you had to stay stationary, now that's not necessarily a drawback, because I can still drop those fields on people at range. Anyway, this is the save crystal finally for this floor, so we'll indulge ourselves and save the game, because I can't while I'm playing. And this just loops us back round to where we were earlier. And another slime. See, I knew there were so many. Jesus. We're going to kill this guy. And then what we're going to do is actually go back to a door I just walked past. That I'm pretty sure on my first run I never figured out the secret. And it's not an incredible secret there, honestly. I feel a bit embarrassed that I'd missed it. But, you know, I also find it hard to be embarrassed about stuff that happened ages and ages and ages ago. So, you know, I think everyone's kind of like that. Right, anyway, we've also got an item on the floor here. As I say, the game starts throwing braces at you. This is a fire torque. 2 metal bands that clamp tightly around the neck. A faint sound of crackling embers can be heard emanating from it. Do you know what all these braces remind me of? I used to play for the PlayStation 2. One of the earliest releases for the PlayStation 2 was a game called Eternal Ring. I think it was actually Eternal Ring 2, possibly, which was an amazing RPG, a really cool RPG. I've always kind of had a nice idea where I wanted to LP games from my past that I'm like really nostalgic about, especially the obscure ones. Eternal Ring was one of those. It was a fantastic game though. It had horrible controls because obviously by the PS2's time there were analog sticks on all controllers, right? DualShock, they were on all the controllers. This was a first-person RPG that had you use the R buttons, like R1, R1, R2, and L1, L2. Had you use those to look around the world. So it had a god-awful control scheme that was just terribly, terribly annoying, and I think put people off and led to the downfall of the game, which is a massive shame because it was a really fun game. But a big part of it was you had to collect all these rings, or it would be very beneficial to collect a lot of rings. I forgot about these guys. And these little braces and stuff remind me of that so very much. What's it like freezing one of these guys? If it turned off the flame effect, that would have been the coolest thing in the world. Fire doesn't do any damage anyway, does it? But whatever. We can kill him. There we go. Like, it was just a fantastic game, and this reminds me of that a lot. Eternal Ring. I don't know if any of you are watching this and you've played Eternal Ring. Do leave a comment, because I don't think many people have, and it was such a good game. So good, guys. Oh, we only have 12 bolts. Where have we lost our other 2? Are they deeper in the room, hopefully? Alright, anyway, when you come into this room, you just saw how I did that little puzzle. I wasn't interested in describing how to do that puzzle. There should be a third guy, shouldn't there? I wasn't interested in describing how to do it. Yeah, this guy here, he usually comes out and ambushes you. Wasn't interested in describing it because it's such like a complicated little thing to describe with words. Anyway, so basically this was a small room. You get the thing to fire through the bolt, and you're supposed to get ambushed by a new guardian that comes through there while opening this very blatant door here. On my first ever run through this, I just came into this room, found this note from 2 room, who's leaving a lot of notes now, have you noticed? Which is quite good, makes you feel quite close to him. He says, there have been people in these hallways before me, but when I went through this place, it seemed like I was the first to open all the doors and press all the buttons. And that's true, haven't we been wondering this? I don't know whether I've wondered out loud, but I always did find that weird. And his conclusion is, there have to be some people who oversee the dungeon. Interesting. So once we're dead and done with, who is it that's coming through, sweeping through this area, cleaning it all up, making sure that somebody else can face all of the trials? It's a very interesting idea, isn't it? Do you remember that writing we saw scratched into the wall before? Maybe it was one of these overseers, one of these keepers of Grimrock. Very interesting. Also, I don't know how I managed to make this leap of logic, but I was also thinking about the map the other day, and the fact that, like, the actual map of the in-game world that you can find in the extras folder that I've been talking about. And I was also thinking, you know, there's a lot of custom servers. There's a lot of like custom maps and stuff you can play on this game, and I'm guessing that map is really good for the lore, because then you can actually pick any of those other locations and say, oh, I've made a Grimrock game in this area because this place sounded kind of cool. Anyway, this is the secret. You just got to go to where you got ambushed from. There's a scroll of invisibility. We've already had one of those. It was a bit of a harder secret back then on a way earlier floor, but we do now get another one, and particularly this late into the game, if you have been making an air mage, you'll definitely be air magic 19, so it'll be more useful to you. But we also get this bad boy, the Shaman Staff. Ooh, yes. So, Shaman Staff. Required Spellcraft 7. We've got it. This gives us 20 energy instead of 15 that the Orb of Radiance gave us. This gives us still 2 willpower as the Orb of Radiance gave us. But this is Earthbound. Poison and Poison Cloud spells deal more damage. A rune-covered staff with a pulsating poison green gem attached to its tip. You can sense great power in it. So, funnily enough, we're not actually going to have the Orb of Radiance for any longer, so we're still going to be relying on... It feels so weird throwing that thing on the floor, though. It seems so valuable to me. Maybe Arachne... Okay, we'll have Liz carry it, because she started carrying some of my miscellaneous stuff. I don't know, I feel weird throwing that thing away. But anyway, there you go. So that's an Orb of Radiance, guys. That we're throwing away, and we've now got a Shaman Staff. I'm not actually sure how much more damage it does, but I'm happy that I've gone with an Earth Mage just because I now get this item. Also, I can't ever remember finding on my original playthrough any kind of caster stuff that is for specific elements as well, but I'm sure there will be. Like, maybe really late game there'll be one for Fire Mages or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, we get the save crystal. We managed to pick that thing up easy peasy, and we can progress to that room I was in earlier. Now, I'm happy I can auto-save before this, because this is a little bit annoying. So, first of all, we have a pit. If we drop down the pit, okay, now I'm going to have to drop down. We can't get to the other side of that floor, so I'll drop down this pit. And here we find ourselves in a long corridor with lots of pressure pads. There are also enemies behind gates here that we're going to release at some point. Interesting. When you fall down, your caster will take damage, and then, because you've landed on a pressure pad, it's going to fire a poison bolt at you, and they're going to take further damage. So don't panic, just stop. Heal yourself up. Heal up your other guy if you want. In fact, I'm going to rest. I don't want to waste any more potions. Shouldn't have wasted that original one, to be honest. And then you're all going to be at full health. Now, last time I completed this by starting on that platform, which is a little bit annoying, but maybe we can try this anyway. So every one of these platforms is going to fire a poison bolt. So if you just try and wing it and charge down the corridor, you are screwed, because it's going to fire like 6 or 7 bolts at you straight away, and it's just going to kill people. So you've got to start sidestepping them. And it's a really cool puzzle, really cool room in my opinion, because it does stuff that plays with you. You could, in theory, just stand on a pad, wait, rest, stand on a pad, wait, rest, stand on a pad, and that would just be kind of lame though. So I'm not going to do that. I did find a real way to get through. I might fuck it up. We shall see. So I'm just going to try and wing it here. There we go. That's all right. So that's how I just got through. You just want to sidestep as much as you can. Now, all the way in the far side of the room, you can still see the outlines of the guys. Like, look at this. Look at it. The light travels. How the hell are we going to get back out is the question. Well, we need to go to where those enemies were. This is the secret itself. This is the final tier of heavy armor. I think there's achievements in the game to be wearing a full set of each type of armor. So, like, oh, God. So many people have been commenting on how I say this. Chitin, one of those. I always say chitchin. I don't know why, but Jesus. They're actually better than this ring stuff. There are achievements in the game to be wearing a full set, but they're kind of hard to get, and I've never bothered getting them because the game will so frequently... Why have I done that? The game will so frequently just give you like the next tier before you finish the previous tier. Like, we don't have full plate yet, and now we're starting to get Boots of Valor, which is interesting. But anyway, the flavor text reads, "These boots, fashioned of almost impenetrable metal, are lighter to wear than the fine steel sabatons of the Royal Regiment." And if you look, this is protection plus 15. Our existing boots is only protection plus 6, so this is well over double the efficiency, which is fantastic. So we'll drop that around. We can change our ring boot. No, she's already got ring boots, so that's fine. We'll have her eat something. And yeah, we're going to start getting some nice gear. We got a nice cloak, we got some nice boots. All very exciting indeed. And we'll leave it as actually no. Why did I swap the greaves around? Chaos needs the best greaves at the moment. Here's another reason why evasion is better than other stats in this game. It's because if you're trying to just tank through damage, you then have to start wearing very heavy equipment. So Chaos has got barely anything in his inventory at the moment. I remembered him being able to have all kinds of stuff, and the skulls were really annoying. But he's got all this, he's got barely anything in his inventory at the moment, but he's also close to being overburdened. If I were to give him the shield, for example, he's overburdened, and we now as a team move slowly. So that's a big problem as well. Natalie's got just as much survivability, but she's got barely anything on. She's just wearing lurker stuff, which is, you know, less than a kilogram each time, which is amazing. So, you know, that's another downside. All the potions you have to do, you know, if you can prevent the damage coming in the first place, I say go for it. It's slightly more risk reward going for evasion, but evasion is awesome, and I'm seeing that more as I play through. So anyway, there's a lever in this room, and I could die here. There's a lever. This will open up all of the enemies in the far side, right? Don't try and fight them on the pressure pads. Obviously, that's just going to screw you up. You could do an interesting thing where you try and trigger loads of the traps, and then you pull the lever, and then the traps end up damaging them as they come out the gate. I've always been curious about that, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I am, though, however, I'm going to precast a spell going down there and some bolts going down there, and then I'm going to open the gate. And they're all going to get hit. You see that? You see that? Oh, it's glorious. So what we're going to do is we're going to kill that spider on his way in. And then what's more important is that we kill the guy behind it, or we do enough damage to him first, because we're going to get cornered by 2 crabs here, which I am not looking forward to. There we go. There's also going to be another spider that's going to be charging us. Do be aware of the other spider, but obviously once it's just these 2, you'll be fine. I like how these are all kind of the arachnid type enemies. It's not a particularly pleasant fight to be in, is it? So you could aim for the spider first, I guess, because you're going to be able to kill him quickly. Once you've killed 3 of them and there's just 1 crab left, feel free to take your time with it. He shouldn't do too much damage. You see how much we're wrecking these guys now? Can you imagine having an encounter like this on the first floor where we ever saw spiders and they were giving us that much hassle? Oh my god. So anyway, now that we've opened the stuff on the far side of the room, we can leg it, and loads of poison bolts are coming up behind us, but leg it, back off into the right, and you'll be fine. Now, for my particular setup, the annoying thing here is recovering all of my bolts, because there's going to be some in the middle of the room. So I'm going to rest again, and we're going to try and grab some of those. And this is all just an optional area, guys. It's all totally optional. We didn't need to do any of it, really. But you do get some of the best heavy armor, and I don't think there's much else choice you get for the rest of the set. This is actually going to be really annoying, especially because I can't save. I may have to just take it very slowly, so there's nothing there. We'll just take the hit of this. I've just got to be kind of slow, kind of cautious, make sure that I actually see. Oh, do you know what you could do as well? Oh my god, this never occurred to me. Cast a poison shield. How much damage does it do to me? Well, it still does a little bit of damage, but not that much. I'm missing 1 bolt. Is it in the far side of the room? Perhaps. Dodge those. We're going to be on another file where we're missing 1 bolt, guys. Oh my god, did this happen before I came into this room? I don't know. I'm going to have to see on the post commentary. People hate it so much when I miss this stuff. I'm going to run down this bit. This generally, try not to go down the middle. There's the bolt. There's the bolt. Don't get hit by too many. Oh, what am I doing? There we go. Okay, no, we got the bolt. So, once you've cleared that whole room, you can actually find some small pickups. Not on this side, sadly. It's over on this side. You can buy some mole jerky. If anybody's particularly hungry at the moment, you pick it up. Like, for example, Arachnia seems to be. We can give it to her. Om and om nom. And we're sorted there. So, I should have used a quickness potion there as well. So anyway, there you go. That's the secret. That's that little bit. But the question now lies, how do we... Have you noticed, by the way, that this secret's really easy to find, but it's difficult to pull off? Like, it's dangerous. There's always that split. If it's easy to find, it's usually quite dangerous. There's my dog barking again. He barks so much now. I don't know. So anyway, we're kind of at a dead end here. We're at a loss. Where do we go? Well, there's this one teleporter, which we can go through, but this just takes us... It doesn't seem to take us anywhere, really, does it? The game's being kind of cheeky at the moment here, actually. Very cool, honestly. This is where we started, right? And if we go through the teleporter and press tab, it looks like we're in the same room. Press tab. We are in the same room. But are we? Are we in the same room? Well, if you look at the map here, there seems to be another way we can go up there. In fact, it's teleported us across to the other side. And even more interestingly than that, if you go into it a third time, it takes us to a completely different area. But they all look the same. How amazing is that? So now we're in this area. We get, this isn't actually a secret yet, we get a sack with some alchemist stuff for us. And another flask. You know, the previous room, like the treasure room where we could have chosen to get alchemy stuff, I don't see the point. You get more than enough flasks in the game anyway. So we've got that. I've just noticed I already have an antidote potion, so maybe we'll look at that. Now we're going to drop down here. But I'm going to go and save it before we do that, guys. Just because I don't trust myself, because I've done quite a lot. I had some bad experiences, to be honest, in my little test run. Not just because I saved over like a moron. I feel like every LP I do something like that. I make a stupid, like, clerical error, like an error in the production of it that means I ruin at least one episode. I always do it. It's so annoying. The thing is, while I'm filming, I would be saving on, you know, the file that says level 7, level 6, level 5, level 4. But then when I'm testing, I always was supposed to save on the file that says test file. You can see here, I messed up. This one here called shit. This was when I realised that I'd saved onto the wrong file, which was just ridiculous. Sorry, a little bit of a difficult thing coming up, guys, but we're 20 minutes in, so thank you very much for watching this episode of Let's Play The Legend of Grimrock. We are still in the Ancient Chambers, but I expect that the next episode we will finish the floor, and it gets confusing as well afterwards. You know, I talked about interaction between floors many times on this LP. Is going to start soon, and we also get to like a different tile set and stuff. So anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. I will catch you next time.